And
yeah, we are.
I think one thing that we didn't comment about is that Alessandro doesn't.
Oh, and again the Fuvalos.
I guess he doesn't need to know what his opponent is up to.
And there it is, first card of the engine finally activated. But there is an Ash to stop it. Is this gonna be again a pass? Do we have a way to play the game? We do have Fiendsmiths.
However, if my opponent activate Fugalos in the draw phase, I immediately think that he's probably having a second copy, as we saw also in game 1. So I believe that it might actually be again the
there's
case.
Also Purge.
Look at this opener. But
okay. There's at least something, you know, to start things off with. Nothing special.
Money. Has to feel absolutely.
Oh, and draw and Lockbird.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
And
big.
Yes, because Evil Twin doesn't been so much up to do draw adding cards from the deck, so they can still play under draw very, very well. Action also Fiendsmith, as we are going to see with their Evil Twin physical deals, is a light Fiend that can be transformed into Fiendsmith Requiem, and right now we are protected from Fugalos.
That's big. Obviously, we're gonna have to give up a draw of our own from the Lila, but I think we are completely happy with that, as long as we get to play the game. And yeah, as you've mentioned, this is the power of this deck being light fiends. This is the great synergy.
And one thing I like about Evil Twin now that Purge has been activated is that you feel safe against Bestials and Diddy Crow, which is two cards that potentially may impact your plays in the Evil Twin and in the Fiendsmith strategies. So, as we can experience right now, Evil Twin can, as we said, play very, very well under draw because they just give up one draw and potentially add if they have the continuous spell. However, as we can experience right now, Sancheyen doesn't care about drawing cards or adding them, so he activated the Drawn Lockbird, which is a direct out to Fugalos and can establish his field.
Yeah, and this is what we saw plenty of times a couple just years ago, where this deck was paired with Sprite cards, and it was quite the powerhouse. But nowadays, again, if it wasn't for Fuvalos, I'm sure we would see way more of this deck. But
I mean, the fact that you can have access to the Fiendsmith engine so easily gives such a ceiling to the deck. It gives so much potential and power to your deck. And right now we can see Sequence being summoned in order for us to fusion summon into Lacrima, since has come back from the Forbidden Unlimited list, or even Desiree.
I mean, I think it's a very solid start from Sancheyen, especially because Alessandro really started things off very well. Very solid hand with full of interruptions. But here, yeah, I mean, as mentioned, it comes the Lacrima, which we haven't seen in a while. And, you know, this is quite impressive, honestly. Quite impressive field, because he also now brings back the Troubled Sunny onto the field.
I like decks that can play Ancient Roll and have it as a backup plan against Fugalos, because Droll is very strong against Malcharmis. However, not every deck can afford to play it, right? And as we can showcase right now, Evil Twin Fiendsmith, it is one of those decks that they really can play under draw.
Yeah, it doesn't really suffer from it, especially because, I mean, as we are witnessing, essentially it did the full combo, and this is, you know.
I mean, Caesar is quite an option against Yami. I mean, it can be quite an option against Solfachord engine, but against Yami, if Alessandro has drawn into his Yamis, I think that,
Oh,
or even
that's
to
something.
no more, is an out.
Wow. I mean, you already have 3 entraps plus the Dark Ruler and the Marshmallow. Oh, what? Hands, honestly, Alessandro is drawing. Okay, at least he's human. He draws the cards you don't really want to get.
We didn't access Requiem, right?
No.
No.
So we don't have Lacrima in graveyard.
No. And we also shuffled back the Requiem. So, yeah. No Fiendsmith in Paradise today.
Yeah, because it will be a good option to play around.
Of course.
No more.
The thing is that it doesn't even have the Fiendsmith in Paradise in the deck.
Ah,
so.
he doesn't play it.
Yes, sometimes when you play 15 round of Swiss to 16, it is one of those cards that you can afford not to play it because you don't want to have bad cards in your deck and hand in order for you to be more consistent.
See.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on the choices you really want to make at the beginning of the tournament. We talked about it a few times. I feel like, though, it's one of those cards that may really help you out on the long run, especially like thinking about, for example, Punishment. You know, it's one of those cards we talked a lot about this weekend, and it used to be sided in. Now it's pretty much in every duelist's main deck, and I think it makes a lot of sense. But
yeah. Good news is at least we cannot lose the game this turn, technically, because of the damage, but this is the spots where the minion boosting just feels so good, you know, turning these small monsters into beasts.
Yeah, but in the other hand, we cannot win in this turn since we have activated no more, so we need to establish a strong field, and since right now we cannot deal any damage to our opponent.
I thought. Let me check something, because I remember there was a draw that we might have missed from Sancheyen. Don't we have Frosting Grave? I thought so, no? Yeah. Oh. I thought we started with the Kissy Frost. So we could have gotten a draw at the start of the turn when we added a card, but I guess we didn't go for it. Anyways, we didn't use yet the effect of Snatchy because we are drawn the minion.
As always.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have drawn a lot of minion this weekend on stream. It's actually cursed, yeah. And now we can access this Akruki, which was in the deck even though we were going second, and that's an interesting take, considering we didn't even know what we were up against.
Yeah, you don't like a Krogi in second?
It depends on the matchup. The only thing, I mean, I guess
on a blind matchup, it's good.
On a blind matchup, might as well. And yeah, as you can see, I think we just passed. And now we are going to be using Lacrima, but that, yeah, might actually be an issue because we haven't used the cookie yet, and that's gonna get rid of our Link 4.
I mean, it just forces us to activate the effect, obviously.
Dark Ruler is still active, no? Yeah. So the Link 4 is going to be destroyed by Cookie, then as we can see here, we have the Agnum Day, and now finally it's back to Sancheyen, but he's staring a full yummy field with the Akruki and surprise. It's not gonna be easy, considering I think we are only on the top deck we just drew. No more cards. I mean, really custom hand from Alessandro, both games, you have to admit, but now let's see if we can do something about this.
We have still Requiem in the extra deck, so we can access Requiem and try to force with Engraver in order to. But we have a Croaky and the Cookie on the main monster zone.
And every time we use an effect, we're gonna give even more yummies.
Do we have a Lollipop also in the graveyard?
No, not yet, I believe. I think we have Marsh. Yeah, we don't. We have Marsh and
Caps.
Capsi. What's going on?
So he was debating because Cookie and all the
I think he kinda
yummy synchros is up to 2 monsters.
forgot that he could have gone for. But also here again, I think we have another instance where, I think we could have chained the Snatch, you know? So we could have gotten another summon off the dugout, but better late than never. And here, oh, we are actually not gonna use only the Cookie. We are using a Cookie and then a Croaky. That's interesting. I mean, I guess anyways you could have just flipped that face up. Is it really necessary? That's the question. And preventing immediately going for this, I guess we want to set up the Lolly in grave. But no. Wow. Okay. That's an interesting sequence from Alessandro.
I mean, he wants to have a synchro that can activate the second effect to tag out, because Cookie has already activated the effect to tag out. So.
Look at that draw. The one draw of Capsi ends up being a purge. Wow. And now Sancheyen just checking the graveyard, and it's all done, and we know the surprise is there, so this seems a bit doomed for the Evil Twin Fiendsmith deck, and we could have a very quick future match here. Oh, but did we shuffle it back already? Yeah, we did. Okay. I feel like I missed it.
And I mean, this is why we didn't summon before the Mass Mouth, because we had the surprise, so we wanted to summon Mass Mouth at the correct time in order to take back a surprise from the graveyard.
Makes sense, and I mean, this is just brutal. As we have talked about, all you need are 4 monsters to deal 8,000 damage with the Yummy deck if the minion is there, and this is exactly it. We just swing with. Oh, okay. Yeah, there are 5 monsters. This is plenty enough. We're gonna just swing, and that is it. Alessandro takes this match by storm with a 2-0 convincing fashion. Wow. I mean, what can we say? I mean, again, it was refreshing to see a bit of, Live Twin Evil Twins in there, but when you're facing off against, ends like the ones that Alessandro drew, it's rough.
I mean, it is one of those scenarios that they really start the debate, because Evil Twin Fiendsmith, it is one of those decks that have access to the Fiendsmith engine despite needing to draw Engraver, for example, by just having engine and going from their monsters to Requiem since they are light fiend. However, there is a very strong card against the deck, Fugalos, as we experience. So it is one of those decks that you're debating if you want to bring into a YCS, meaning that they have a weakness against one of the most representative cards. However, it is one of those cards that can catch your opponents off guard.
I mean, I also feel like that we didn't really get to see much of the Live Twin Fiendsmith potential in general, just because, Alessandro's end were phenomenal, to be fair. Both in Game 1 and Game 2, I really feel like he had all the answers needed, and I mean, Sancheyen really tried this game show, but I think every single card Alessandro drew were just shutting down his strategy. But I think it's still refreshing to see, sometimes, difference as we have seen also yesterday throughout our day one, and once again another different deck on stream, which is just proving that the field of duelists this weekend was so diverse, and we had so many different decks. Well, looking forward to the next round as well, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
but at the same time, in 2025, Yu-Gi-Oh can be played in a lot of different ways, and that is because if any of you tuned in yesterday, of course, since a couple of events we've introduced the backup future match, and while yesterday, of course, we were focusing on the main event, today is the first time that in Europe we have a Genesis Invitationals where our duelists had the chance to qualify on Friday or Saturday by going into a 4 rounds event, and they needed to pretty much go 4-0 or 3-1 to qualify. And today they're battling in a single elimination tournament with amazing prizes all the way from the past, and I would be excited honestly to be playing in there, and we will be able to show you guys some Genesis action right after our winners interview, of course. So just stand in there, and if you're a fan of this very interesting point-based format, I suggest you to just hang in there. But again, we had a very exciting match in this round, although it was brief, full of emotion, full of fuvalos, I'd say, because we saw 3 in 2 games, in 2 openings hands. But of course, you gotta give congratulations to the winner, and it's not only about making it all the way to the top 8, because we have a lot of amazing prizes as well for the day 2 participants and for top 64. But for now, let's focus on the winner of this round with Dale.
Welcome back, duelists. I am here with round 11's winner, Alessandro. Now, we saw a very, very quick round on that one. Very well controlled by yourself. So we're going to be starting off with the video number 1 of our clip. So this is where you end up utilizing Fulos, then react with an Ash Blossom, and no break, go with a second Fulos. Now, were you kind of predicting an Ash Blossom on this one? Were you kind of happy that no matter the outcome, you were going to get advantage of a Fulos?
For sure. If I have a double Fuvalos, I always do it one in the draw phase, and if the opponent responds again, I chain another one. But if the opponent doesn't respond, when it will activate effect or summon from the extra, I chain the other one, so it stops a bit more than throwing rapidly both. But in this case, I thought it was the best because he used the Nash, and if he had even called by, that's fine.
Put some early pressure on your opponent. And then we're just going to have a quick look at, so still in game number 1, moving on to clip number 2. Now, this just kind of shows you play another Ash Blossom from your opponent and straight away activating the Call by the Grave. Now, was that the card for turn, or was that already in your hand and you were pretty comfortable with what you had?
Yeah, I was pretty confident. I thought that just by Imperma I would have lost, and with that call by I was very
happy on that one.
Happy and confident, and he scooped right away.
So when something like this happens and your opponent scoops pretty fastly, you don't really have the full information on what type of deck do they play. So when you move into your side deck,
he play 40 cards in the main deck, and he threw an Entrap and another one. So I think he played a deck not like Dracotail. So I sided against a combo deck, I thought.
Yeah, very.
And, it happened.
It worked out for you.
Deck,
yeah, exactly that. So very, very well analysed on that one. So we're going to be moving into, exactly as you mentioned, with a combo-related deck. Now, this is obviously already presented the field for you. Now know exactly what your opponent is playing. You've already presented them with a Purge and a Full Loss. And then we see the Dark Ruler no more. So that side-in pattern of going into a combo-style deck really did work for you. So when you see that Dark Ruler no more, trying to navigate the Yummy strategy and limiting your opponent's resource, what were your thoughts here? Because you know that they are strong monsters and you need to clear them off bit by bit.
He have only Caesar and Link 4 on field, so the main interruptions are there, and there were the ones that hurt me more, especially with Marshmallow in hand and field spell. So Dark Ruler was a great card in this moment, and when I drew it, I was fine, and then I special summoned, and then doing my Yami combo as usual.
Yeah, perfect. And the final thing I'm going to show you is, so this is something quite unique to a more so Yummy Solfachord strategy, not something you could really use in a Yummy Mitsurugi strategy. So talk to me about the importance of a Dominus Purge.
Purge is a great card. I choose this deck especially for the fact that I can play more non-engine, because the fact that you can draw it by Capsi during the opponent's turn gave you so much advantage, and the fact that it must have to play around my draw in his turn, I think is one of the strong parts of the deck.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Alessandro. We wish you the best of luck in the remaining Swiss rounds. Thank you very much for every single one of you watching at home. Now we're going to be going head back to the casters because we have even more content to show you from the Genesis Invitational.